The free soul is rare, but you know it when you see it, basically because you feel good, very good, when you are near or with them. We are here to laugh at the odds and live our lives so well that death will tremble to take us. What my character is or how many jails I have lounged in, or wards or walls or wassels, how many lonely heart poetry readings I have dodged, is beside the point. A man's soul or lack of it will be evident with what he can carve upon a white sheet of paper. I don't like the clean-shaven boy with the necktie and the good job. I like desperate men, men with broken teeth and broken minds and broken ways. They interest me. They are full of surprises and explosions. The difference between a democracy and a dictatorship is that in a democracy you vote first and take orders later. In a dictatorship you don't have to waste your time voting. I can relax with bums because I am a bum. I don't like laws, morals, religions, rules. I don't like to be shaped by society. When I worked on a magazine, I learned that there are many writers writing that can't write at all. And they keep on writing all the cliches and bromides and 1890 plots, and poems about spring and poems about love. And poems they think are modern because they are done in slang or staccato style, or written with all the I's small. Early on, when I was quite young and going from job to job, I was foolish enough to sometimes speak to my fellow workers. Hey, the boss can come in here at any moment and lay all of us off. Just like that, don't you realize that? They would just look at me. I was posing something that they didn't want to enter their minds. I have not worked out my poems with a careful wool, falling rather on haphazard and blind formulation of wordage, a more flowing concept, in a hope for a more new and lively path. I do personalize at times, but this only for the grace and elan of the dance. The more cats you have, the longer you live. If you have 100 cats, you'll live 10 times longer than if you have 10. Someday this will be discovered, and people will have 1,000 cats and live forever. It's truly ridiculous. Show me a man who lives alone and has a perpetually clean kitchen, and 8 times out of 9 I'll show you a man with detestable spiritual qualities. The male, for all his bravado and exploration, is the loyal one, the one who generally feels love. The female is skilled at betrayal and torture and damnation. An intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way. Having a bunch of cats around is good. If you're feeling bad, you just look at the cats, you'll feel better because they know that everything is just as it is. There's nothing to get excited about. They just know. They're saviors. There will always be something to ruin our lives. It all depends on what or which finds us first. We are always ripe and ready to be taken. Censorship is the tool of those who have the need to hide actualities from themselves and from others. Their fear is only their inability to face what is real, and I can't vent any anger against them. I only feel this appalling sadness. Somewhere in their upbringing, they were shielded against the total facts of our existence. Even though I write about the human race, the further away from them, the better I feel. 2 miles is great, 2,000 miles is beautiful. We're all going to die, all of us. What a circus. That alone should make us love each other, but it doesn't. We are terrorized and flattened by trivialities. We are eaten up by nothing. I only type every third night. I have no plan. My mind is a blank. I sit down. The typewriter gives me things I don't even know I'm working on. It's a free lunch, a free dinner. I don't know how long it is going to continue, but so far there is nothing easier than writing. When everything works best, it's not because you chose writing but because writing chose you. It's when you're mad with it. It's when it's stuck in your ears, your nostrils, under your fingernails. It's when there's no hope but that. If I write badly about blacks, homosexuals and women, it is because of these who I met were that. There are many bads, bad dogs, bad censorship. There are even bad white males. Only when you write about bad white males, they don't complain about it. And need I say that there are good blacks, good homosexuals and good women. Somebody once asked me what my theory of life was, and I said, don't try. That fits the writing, too. I don't try, I just type. My days, my years, my life has seen up and downs, lights and darknesses. If I wrote only and continually of the light, and never mentioned the other, then as an artist, I would be a liar. I kept writing not because I felt I was so good, but because I felt they were so bad. Including Shakespeare, all those. The stilted formalism, like chewing cardboard. Most poets are young simply because they have not been caught up. Show me an old poet, and I'll show you, more often than not, either a madman or a master. It's when you begin to lie to yourself in a poem in order simply to make a poem that you fail. That is why I do not rework poems. I used to live on one candy bar a day. It cost a nickel. I always remember the candy bar was called Payday. That was my payday. And that candy bar tasted so good. At night I would take one bite, and it was so beautiful. There are women who can make you feel more with their bodies and their souls, but these are the exact women who will turn the knife into you right in front of the crowd. Of course, I expect this, but the knife still cuts.